When you think improbable rise to NFL quarterbacking relevance, you probably think of someone like Kurt Warner, who went from bagging groceries to arena ball to NFL MVP. While his NFL career was certainly much better than the player this video is about, I wouldn't say his career path was as lucky. Kurt Warner was a Division I AA starter, who obviously had some NFL eyes on him during the season, eventually getting a tryout with the Green Bay Packers after going undrafted. Jon Kitna, on the other hand, the Division II quarterback. No, not NCAA Division II, but NAIA Division II, a level that doesn't even exist anymore. He was raised in Tacoma, Washington, attending Lincoln High School, lettering in football, basketball, and baseball. After high school, he chose to attend Central Washington University, even though he received no athletic scholarship. He would go on to win the starting job his freshman season, a season where he would go on to pass for 1,964 yards. In his sophomore year, he would pass for 3,241 yards. During his junior season, he would see his yardage decline to 2,532 yards, but in his senior season, he would see much improvement. He would complete 364 of his 576 passes for 4,616 yards and 42 touchdowns against 14 interceptions, on his way to a first-team All-American selection and an NAIA Division II Co-National Championship, as he and the Central Washington Wildcats dueled the Findlay Oilers to a 21-21 tie in the national championship game. Over the course of his collegiate career, Kitna played in 43 games where he completed 911 of his 1,550 attempts for 12,353 yards, 99 touchdowns, and 59 interceptions. Believing his football career was over, he finished up his math education degree and began searching for high school coaching opportunities. But that's when his luck kicked in. You see, then Seattle Seahawks head coach Dennis Erickson has a nephew. A nephew who was also a senior at Central Washington University, and he felt obligated to give him a tryout. This nephew also happened to be a wide receiver, and when Coach Erickson visited the campus to give his nephew a tryout, he needed someone to throw the ball to him, and Kitna ended up being that guy. And on April 25th, one of those two guys was given a contract as an undrafted free agent, and it wasn't his nephew. Kitna impressed with his strong arm and made the 1996 Seattle practice squad. Prior to the 1997 NFL season, Kitna was allocated to the Barcelona Dragons of the World League of American Football, and would beat out Boston University product Robert Dowdy for the starting job. He would guide the Dragon to a 5-5 second-place finish and would upset the 7-3 Rhine Fire in the World Bowl, 38-24. He would lead the league in attempts, completions, yards, touchdowns, and quarterback rating, completing 171 of his 317 passes for 2,448 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. He would then go on to spend the 1997 NFL season backing up Warren Moon, appearing in 3 games, completing 31 of 45 passes for 371 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He would also spend 1998 backing up Warren Moon once again, until the final 5 games of the season, when he was given the starting reins. He would go on to win 3 of those 5 games, completing 98 of his 172 attempts for 1,177 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. In 1999, he would continue to be the main starter, going 8-7 in his 15 starts, completing 270 of his 495 attempts for 3,349 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. This was good enough to win the AFC West, though they went on to lose the wild card matchup against the Miami Dolphins 20-17. 2000 would not start off well for Kitna, throwing 4 interceptions in the season opener. This opened up the door for coach Mike Holmgren to start Brock Huard, and both QBs would get multiple starts throughout the season, though Kitna would receive the most, starting 12, going 6-6 while completing 259 of his 418 attempts for 2,658 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 19 interceptions. After the season, Kitna would walk as an unrestricted free agent and would end up signing with the Cincinnati Bengals and was announced a starter. The next 2 seasons would be tough for Kitna, going 8-19 as a starter, completing 607 of his 1,054 passes for 6,394 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 38 interceptions, including guiding the Bengals to a dead last 2-14 record in 2002. With the first pick of the 2003 NFL Draft, the Bengals selected Kitna's replacement, Heisman Trophy winner Carson Palmer, and expected Kitna to help whip Palmer into shape, a job he took with grace as Palmer and Kitna would end up building a great friendship. With the pressure now alleviated, Kitna would have his best career season, guiding the Bengals to an 8-8 record while completing 324 of his 520 attempts for 3,591 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions, en route to winning the NFL Comeback Player of the Year award. In 2004, Palmer was ready, and Kitna was once again in the backup role, but was forced into action during the last 3 games of the season, where he went 2-1 and completed 64 of his 104 throws for 623 yards with 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. 2005 was uneventful for Kitna, as he was relegated to backup duty for the entire season. only playing sparingly up until he was unexpectedly thrust into action in the Bengals AFC wildcard game against the Steelers, where he completed 24 of his 40 passes for 197 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions, as well as a fumble, en route to a 31-17 loss. The Steelers would go on to win Super Bowl 40, and Kitna would once again become an unrestricted free agent. He would go on to sign with the Detroit Lions. There he would go on to start 36 consecutive games, though for a bad Lions team, where he compiled a 10-26 record, completing 795 of his 1,277 passes, for 9,034 yards, 44 touchdowns, and 47 interceptions, including an 0-4 start to the 2008 season prior to being knocked out for the year with injury, a season where the Lions would finish 0-16. He would be traded to the Cowboys in 2009 to become Tony Romo's backup, and would not see the field for the entire season for the first time since his rookie season. In 2010, though, he would see action in 10 games, starting 9, after Romo broke his collarbone. Kitna would go 4-5, completing 209 of his 318 passes, for 2,365 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. In his final season, he'd only see action in 3 games, completing 6 of 10 passes for 87 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, announcing his retirement on January 12, 2012. Or at least as he thought, as he was asked to come back as Kyle Orton's emergency quarterback for 1 game on December 24, 2013, after yet another Tony Romo injury. A job he took, though he would see no action. He would even go on to donate the entire $55,294 salary to a charity before hanging up his cleats for good. Before being called back, though, he had already started his next career. In 2012, Kitna took a job as a math teacher and head football coach at his alma mater, Lincoln High School in Tacoma, Washington. His first season went well enough, coaching the A's to a 5-4 regular season before a 45-0 shutout loss to Bellevue in the first round of the Washington State playoffs. The next season, his team showed improvement, going 8-1 in the regular season prior to yet another first-round exit, this one a 41-21 loss to Eastside Catholic. In 2014, Kitna had his best season yet as a coach, guiding the A's to an undefeated regular season, before rattling off 2 playoff wins by a margin of 98-36, before falling to Eastside Catholic once again, this time 28-21. Then in January 2015, Kitna abruptly resigned from his positions at Lincoln High School, and announced that he was named the head coach of Waxahachie High School in Waxahachie, Texas. His first season as the head coach of the Indians started well, going 3-0 to start, but then an injury to his son, senior quarterback Jon Kitna, derailed the season, and they ended the season 6-4, missing the playoffs. The next season would see more of the same. They rattled off 6 straight wins before dropping the next 4, and once again missing the playoffs. In 2017, he would once again guide the Indians to a 6-4 season, but this time snuck into the playoffs. He would capitalize, winning 2 playoff games to advance to the regional finals, before being shut out by Lone Star High School 35-0. After the season, he would be on the move once again, because in February 2018, he was named the head coach at Brophy College Prep in Phoenix, Arizona. And that brings us up to the present. Jon Kitna, a small school quarterback who turned a courtesy tryout for another player into a 16-year-long NFL career, and has since parlayed that into a relatively successful high school coaching career. Howdy y'all, Jackson here with Jerk Studios, and I hope you enjoyed that episode of Football History. And if you did, please consider leaving a like, and if you have a player, coach, or event you would like to see me do a video on, please leave it in the comment section below. And if you are new here, and like the content, please hit that subscription button, and feel free to look around at other videos in my catalog. Bye!